Okay, so let's see. Let me go to the, we'll have to go to this slide. So the topics we're going to talk about today is, nobody had any questions from last month. So today we're going to talk about, I'm going to close my, thumbnail videos. We're going to talk about the 7 microheavens and what the Autists did in 2019 to actually connect to this, and which is, I feel, is a big reason why this magnetic mother now can come through. I mean, it was some big stuff, and I'm glad to be able to finally share it. So let's see. Oops. Okay, what am I supposed to do? Okay, there we go. We opened into the quantum field, dark matter, the cosmic mother. So we'll be talking a little bit more about that and more about dark matter and how it's all around us. And I'm drawing about dark matter, talking about how it literally creates the space or the manifestation, even the body parts. And so, we talk a lot about oneness, like everything is one, God is one, and we're all supposed to be in this oneness. But there's also this idea of wholeness, which is the sum of it, the sum of all the parts. And, I feel like this is important to talk about as well, because it's the wholeness of all the little pieces that operate together, which gives us that sense of wholeness. Like even in our physical bodies, our organs have a different function. Our body systems have a different function, and they all have to work in wholeness, but they each have a different role. And this is important as we step into unity consciousness, because each person then as a soul expression is unique, and it's not about dictating everybody to act in oneness and having one script, but it's the individual aligning to their own soul and their soul gifts and kind of coming together as a wholeness. So this is an important concept, and dark matter, I feel, really plays a big role in enabling us to function in this wholeness. So we'll talk a little bit more about the dark matter, like I said, which creates the space. It literally opens up, like a field for our body to exist in, even our light body and our organs. They have dark matter around it, and it creates a space for that liver and that kidney to exist. And so the soul comes in with the opening of this Star Icosahedron and opens into dark matter. And then we begin to engage that Polarian template, which is the electric and the magnetic aspect, which basically, holds matter together. And this electric and magnetic body channels is important for communication between the organs and the body systems. It also facilitates communication with our light body and the physical body. And the soul utilizes the element of ether, or represented by the dodecahedron, to come into form. So that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. So let's see. So kind of going back to that drawing, really quickly, of this is what the kind of what the Star Icosahedron actually looks like coming out of from the 0-point field. It collapses into this Star Icosahedron, and the first 2 points, 1 and 2, is I wasn't sure if that was the exact horror line, that's part of the vertical channels system. But now I'm seeing that it's a different kind of channel. It's literally that tube and it connects into the dark matter field to begin creating that space. So, this is my representation of a 20-pointed star in kind of a 2D form. And then we engage the dodecahedron, which represents the element of ether. And there seems to be different expressions of ether, even different types of ether in the cosmos as well. So we'll see. I think we'll be learning more about this element of ether someday, and how it affects matter and many other things. Okay, so again, just a quick reminder, these are where the light body spheres are. So the dark matter even surrounds these light body spheres. It enables these light body grid to even exist. So because it's been in the unseen world and hidden from us, we really didn't know a whole lot about dark matter. But I think scientists, I've heard them say, like, there's way more dark matter than the quote, the white matter that we know about. And this is probably why, because it literally creates the space. So, and then the axotonial lines like this, the left side 11 and 12, I wasn't sure if they were opening to this, if the Star Icosahedron was literally the horror line of 11 and 12, but it's not. I'm being shown that it's kind of behind it, but then enables these vertical channels to come in. So the substance of dark matter, what is that? So this is what I've been seeing for about the past month or so now. It's quote the negative field, right? Again, like more like that photo negative for those of us who are old enough to remember when pictures got developed, in a darkroom, and you'd get this the opposite image, so then when it started opening up, though, within it was this like substance, this very cloudy, kind of almost like cotton candy, fluffy. And this is what it looks like, even like I said, surrounds our organs. So our soul matrix coming in works very closely with dark matter. It's like the soul is kind of like the director, of the manifested body and how you're supposed to manifest in this form. And what are your attributes? What are your gifts? What do you have to bring, that's of service to the rest of humanity and the planet? And so the soul, it's even imprinted, the soul matrix, the personal soul matrix for this life is imprinted into dark matter. And then, the light comes through so that we get what we see in the manifested. So it's the very, very basic substance in the pre-manifestation stage. So yeah, maybe this is what we call quanta, even quantum particles. What is all that? And I think we're going to learn a lot more about that. I even feel like our system of atoms is going to change, our understanding and how they're actually configured. Is everything's gonna look different, especially as we change density. Then that it literally is affecting the matter state of our body. If we're changing density and becoming lighter, then the frequencies that our bodies are made of is going to change. And so our understanding, our perception is also going to change. And I feel a major reason why even things that we believed in the past, or even spiritual practices or teachings, may begin to not resonate anymore, because we're going to have a completely different perspective about our reality and what makes up our reality. So accessing the mother universe. This began. Well, it began really like at the beginning 2017, 2018, like I had mentioned before. But there was some major things happening in 2019, and I'll just talk a little bit about what this image represents. So I drew it on 3/13/2019, and what this is depicting is this wave from Aqualasha galaxy, and from the Ascension Cluster. They refer to it as the original crystal galaxy of the original diamond sun of the diamond body, is located in the God worlds in the 7 higher heavens. So this is from that 7 higher heavens, or the macro world of the God worlds. And so now coming through, and this is what we would call the Mother Arc Gateway, which is the 13th dimension. And that 13th chakra we access through below our feet. And it's also, the earth also has a 13th chakra and accesses into this Mother Arc Gateway. Well, you can imagine that it's really been kind of blocked, and so really wasn't fully open like this before, which ties in with all the misogyny and the raping of the mother concepts, things like that, because the power of the mother is really tremendous. So anyway, they brought me through, or made me aware that we could connect into this mother universe that's depicted as this here, so that we could start connecting even with our physical bodies. And then they showed me that if you go through there are 7 micro universes, and they called it at that time micro consciousness units, that feeding the Mother Arc Gateway. So it feeds the quantum field through these 7 micro universes, and then sort of the next stage, I can't remember if it was a few weeks or several days after that, these beings from each of those 7 micro universes began to emerge and enter our universe. I mean, I was starting to see them in our galaxy. So this one is kind of hard to see, but there's one there, and they each represent one of these 7 micro universes. I've kind of gotten to calling them the 7 microheavens now. So we have the 7 higher heavens, now we have the 7 microheavens. So the evolution of these microheavens, as time has gone on, now this is recent. So now, since everything is open, I'm able to draw them. I don't know what this patch is. I thought I got rid of that, but there it is again. But so each of these represents sort of like a portal, accessing into one of those 7 micro universes. And this represents the quantum field. This is the Sophianic chakra that Sam and I have below our feet. And we were kind of guided to do this to kind of get this to be steady. So then I had a vision of this other opening into the cosmos, just open up like a big mouth. And this is all debris and garbage in the quantum field. and it began like vacuuming it out. And what I was told was that this is from like 5 very catastrophic like nuclear explosions that the Earth has undergone in its history. So even before, what we know, some of it seems to go back even, millions of years, but very, very catastrophic. So they're cleaning up like the pollution. And now these 7 microheavens are able to kind of exist like this, I guess, but where it's just much more open and we have easy access to it. And again, this is kind of an aspect of the cosmic mother. So this is a tree that Sammy and I sort of planted a few weeks ago. It was one of those things that it was just sawing it. It was just happening. I mean, I couldn't stop it. But it's to bridge the 7 higher heavens and the 7 microheavens. Some say we've existed in the 7 lower heavens, but now with the 7 microheavens open and accessible, the 7 higher heavens are connecting with the 7 microheavens. So if you remember, this is the 7 of those universes that was left after the original 9, and when after 2 had left, and so the 7 became the 7 higher heavens, and then the galactic suns are within that back there. So trying to give a sense of scale of how big this tree is. And it's through Machu Picchu that we can connect into the ancient portals that once connected into Andromeda, which then accesses the 7 higher heavens. And this tree, interestingly, is stationed before the Atlantean epoch. So it's as if the Atlantean cataclysm didn't happen. And it's also actually before the Luciferian rebellion on the planet. So it's, it's like planted in the timeline, it would be like 26,000 years ago. And since we're in simultaneous time now, it exists kind of in the present, but it's also in the past. As some of you may know, we're trying to be drawn back into that Atlantean timeline to have that cataclysm again, destroy the Earth so they can start over, wipe, our memories so that we don't remember what happened and who we really are, that whole game. So this is kind of bypassing that. What that looks like, I don't know, but that's kind of the idea. So the fullness of the magnetic mother, if you saw our blog, this is, the mother is dark matter. The mother is the quantum field. She is the sound and the harmonics, the oscillations of sound codes, and this magnetic principle. I think, we're just going to start to understand what that means. I think we have no idea what the full power of what magnetics can do. I just have this sense that it is going to be very important in developing clean technologies, dark matter and antiparticle science is going to play a big role in developing clean technologies. Something is telling me I should talk a little bit about gold. Gold, I was shown, and I know other people feel that this is true as well, but that gold is not rare on the planet, that there is a lot of gold on the earth, and they keep um, it hidden how much gold there is in order to keep the prices up. So gold, it looks like, will play a role in part of that clean technology, and developing new ways. So I think this is Sammy saying new ways to send electromagnetic frequencies, not based on bi-wave anymore, but kind of a tri-wave technology, so that it doesn't interfere with our brainwave patterns, and also will be important in how we how it changes our Dantian power center, the lower Dantian centers. But anyway, the idea of scarcity too is something that we need to release, that things that are abundant will become more valued because it helps to sustain life, and it's not damaging to life and the earth. So gold is one of them, and something about silver and gold, alloys are being made to it feels like it's a dark agenda, like an archontic agenda. A silver and gold alloy that is harmful to the electromagnetic wave spectrum, and they're trying to counter this density change that's upon us. So I don't know. That's what I'm getting in the moment. It's one of those surprise things that's coming in the moment. So I hope I got it right. Somebody else had a comment. Yeah. So yeah, the Incas from Peru, gold was a very sacred metal. Yeah. I don't think it was just about its scarcity and because it's pretty and shiny. I think it has very conductive properties, if the technology is known how to use that. So we have yet to see. But yeah, Machu Picchu, we'll see what other maybe memories come back before the fall of Atlantis. So
Susan, for what it's worth, I just want to throw in there. I mean, one of the precious things from a scientist standpoint or from a physics standpoint, right, in the laboratory, about gold is that is how easy it is to move the electrons within the metal. And I know like a lot of your work right now is around the electrons and the protons, and so
right.
just throw that in there.
Yeah. So you mean like so say some more about that, like electrons, right? Because that's our electricity, right? Electrons flowing through
well,
wire.
it's
Yeah.
as we know, like gold is very malleable, right? It's bendable, it's shapeable, it's a very soft metal, right? And so within a structure like that versus a very rigid structure, right? It's very very easy to get electrons to move, which is one of the reasons why they really have not been able to apply gold in the semiconductor industry, because they can't control the electrons as well.
Mm, mm,
Yeah, yeah.
mhm.
Even, they've tried. There's been lots and lots of research around that, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I thought, that's what I thought, that there's a reason why they don't use gold. But maybe, um, you know,
it's like
I don't
it doesn't take much of a charge, so to speak, right,
know. Mhm, right,
to get
right.
those electrons to move, and then zippity dood off they go,
Mhm. Yeah,
versus being
yeah.
able to control it more with a slower moving in a substance that's more rigid and has a slower moving current.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, so it'll be interesting now with the magnetics changing, or understanding more about magnetics uh, as it comes online, um, and then just changing density. Like what will that look like?
And
Um,
to me, I mean, it makes sense that we would be able to advance to an activity that includes gold, simply because, like, if we look at our own process of manifestation and how it has, in the past, been slowed down, dumbed down, right? Because
yeah,
otherwise we couldn't control it, right? We'd have this
right,
thought like, "I want to kill you," and
right.
disaster occur, right? So everything had to be slowed down until we um reached a frequency, right, or we were more mature and could manage that kind of. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And we're trying
So
to get faster, internet faster, you know what I mean? All these things that,
right,
trying to get
right.
faster. Yeah. And you're like, well, when you were saying, yeah, how efficiently or quickly electrons can move through gold. I mean, it's like, well, it's not what we want, but we don't want the damage either, And so that's what this feels like that there's something clean about when you apply this magnetic principle correctly, that it's very clean and crisp, and it's also really fast. So yeah, I mean, I hope this happens sooner than later. But I mean, maybe people are already working on it. Maybe people already have the technology. For all we know,
Yeah.
um, we don't know. That's been hidden from
Mm.
us. So, but yeah, but thank you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I appreciate that. Okay, so again, just I think I talked about this in the beginning, that to get this body into this hologram, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. There's a lot of geometry. There's now dark matter. There's light body. There's these horizontal excitonial lines and horizontal channels. I mean, we're literally part of the grid. We're part of the grid network of the Earth, because the Earth also has these aspects of it as well. So, and again, like I was saying in the beginning, when you can manipulate the the organic hologram, then you create a version that's really not functioning properly, and leads to disease and lots of other problems that's gone on the planet. So this is where we're at right now. So I kind of went through that quickly. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah, there's a lot of things, and in some of our energy work, yeah, we'll be refining some of the things that we've been doing thus far. So some of the other meditation images that we use, I mean, we'll uh, be working with these Dantian centers, so to speak. And again, these horizontal lines, energy lines, they enable us to hold the connection of our spirit and our soul with our body. Particularly now as we change density, where it feels like we won't just be connecting our soul through the heart or the fourth chakra, but also now the second chakra, and um, since this lower half, so to speak, is like, our connection with the mother, it's very magnetic. And also then, since the mother is like sound and sound fields, it gives us the ability to understand mother's language of sound, in a totally different way. I think we have yet to see what that looks like and feels like, but that's what's coming. And then we'll be working in our fractal body chambers, everyone. This image I shared in Patreon, magnify your soul. It's like almost like a magnifying lens. And if it's outside of time and space, like you can pinpoint, where your soul is located, so to speak, and like capture that energy of your emanation of your soul to kind of refine your connection with your soul. So that'll be, even if I don't say it, this will be part of, within the meditation. But like I had mentioned too, I even saw this kind of activating around my liver one day, because if your soul matrix is the director, then literally every physical body part holds an aspect of your soul. It holds the energy of our soul. And so as we change density and we're going to function more as souls, the physical body is like a soul body. And you might start to feel like the soul is taking over, some of your organs and your body systems. And then it's going to, begin kicking out things that are really not organic to you, which is good news, because it sounds like it will be able to detox much more quickly. And now, if you imagine that even dark matter holds the space, creates the space for those body systems, those organs, because it's like that your body has a dark matter template that was also then directed by your soul, for this incarnation. And so, literally, like, I feel like regrowing organs is not, like a possibility, but more like a probability. How that happens and what that's going to look like, I don't know. But, I mean, the potential for this is big. And so, this nonsense with growing organs and body parts on another animal, it just sounds disgusting to me. I mean, growing ears on, the backs of mice, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard those kinds of things as well. I just, can't buy into those kinds of things. So anyway, the potential is just tremendous. This is a helium atom that Sammy had me draw. She wanted it part of this meditation. I can't fully understand why. If we look at it from the perspective of, we started with hydrogen, right? Hydrogen was re-encrypted. Hydrogen is made up the very base aspects of like a masculine, feminine, electric and magnetic, the proton and the electron. And that's just like the skin and bones of what a hydrogen atom is, at least as far as the way we've known it. So then the helium is the next element, right? It has 2 protons, 2 electrons, and now it has a neutron in the nucleus. I have seen that there's also helium that has 2 neutrons, but Sammy says, no, this is the one that's organic. Just like with hydrogen, there's heavy hydrogen, which has a neutron in the center, which is not good for the body. So anyway, the helium atom I know she had me work with it on her body one day, and she's saying that it resets the atomic body. I didn't get a chance to put the link of the definition of what the atomic body is, but I can with the recording. And helium also, right, is what enables balloons to float. So, talk about getting lighter. Helium floats. Somebody had a comment. Okay, so curious where neutrinos come in with all this. Heard recently they were stopped from looping us back to past energies as a template to make current reality. Not sure if she said they were removed, dissolved. The idea is that once we clear energies, pathogens, cancers energetically, now they won't come back because of what happened with the neutrinos being discontinued. So you're saying that neutrinos are not natural? You want to just come on, audio?
Hello. Well, it sounded like they were kind of akin to the discussion about like archon type. Not the word energies. What's another word? They were archon technology applied as neutrinos. Now I don't know that all neutrinos are bad. Maybe they were just some of them that were hijacked in this way, but the hijack was unhijacked apparently recently. So that was one perception that I had heard recently, and I wondered if there was anything like that you guys were.
So neutrinos then being misused to so that we continue to loop back into the old patterns and
Yeah,
we get stuck in our body.
That was their function, was to keep us from being able to clear things thoroughly. It would just kind of like reprogram it after we've been cleared it, right? Backdoor would pull it all back in.
Yeah.
And that has been dissolved like last week or something. She gave a certain date that they
okay. Yeah.
that activity.
Yeah. Well, I mean, interestingly, I've been using a lot of neutrinos in some of my energy work with in some sessions and stuff, and we have it come down the central vertical channel. The only thing that I know about neutrinos is, right, they say that it doesn't really interact with matter. Right, they have to create it by collisions and things, and then they collect them. I think there's a neutrino collector in Antarctica or something that I've heard. So that it just it doesn't have a charge, and it doesn't have mass, right? And it just kind of passes through. But my feeling was that it is supposed to interact with matter more than it has, and so maybe that's the cleansing part, that it's it has no mass. It just like the name implies, neutrino, like it's neutral,
Yeah.
Like it's like particles of 0 point or something like that, and definitely the subatomic particles, right? Because it's one of the subatomic particles that's related to the electron. I'm not sure if I'm saying that, correctly, right? But there's a lot of different types of electron in its state. There's, right, positrons and leptons, muons. I mean, I don't know if those are all kind of considered to be in the family of electrons. Terry, do you know?
Some of these subatomics are, a little beyond the depth of my chemistry study, but and physics. But I can tell you that while we've been sitting here talking, I keep getting that neutrinos in the application that we're talking about them from, from like the cleansing aspect is that actually they kind of function as gateways. That's the word I keep getting, is that they function as gateways. If that makes any sense.
So almost like
that, like I see Gandalf, you know, with his big, you know, staff saying, "You shall not pass," kind of thing. Yeah.
To the neutrino, or
that's kind of how the neutrino functions. Like it decides what gets to go and what doesn't.
Yeah. Interesting.
That not that actually the way that I said that, I'm getting that that's not actually completely accurate, but it's the concept of the gateway. It's the concept of keeping out the impure. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, like I said, we're accessing into quantum field, in ways that we've never known. And I mean, it's it'll be interesting to see what arises. The only thing that's coming up right now is the mother universe is rich with, particles is not even the right word, but rich with various kinds of oscillations, like even different types of tachyons. I'm not sure if that's the right word either, but that was the closest, that's coming. It's like this instantaneous, stuff that comes through. So, yeah, I mean, I think we're all kind of learning. Is there anything that's hard fact in what we just said? I don't know.
Right. And it's like it just kind of feels like, this whole host of support, right, is showing up in the cleansing and the clearing and just so many different aspects of this part of our evolutionary process. It's like all kinds of new stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Right, to support this new way of beingness and manifestation. Yeah.
And changing density while we're still walking around. Like, how do we do that? We've never done this before. There's no reference point for that. I don't think. I don't know. Let's look at the Akash. Is there any reference point for that? I'll just leave that out there. See if we get an answer. I'll ask the kids. Yeah, I'll just throw it out there and see if we get an answer in a little while. But anyway, yeah. I mean, even like positrons, right? Electrons that have a positive charge. I mean, I was experiencing that like last week or so. I mean, I was feeling like all this energy going through my sixth sphere, of that light body, which is kind of by that rib cage, the right side of the rib cage. And, all I saw was like the little E with the positive sign on it. I was like, well, I think that means it's a positrons, coming through. Like, what is that doing? I don't know. But I think there's all kinds of things. I know I do remember kind of a few years ago when I looked at it, if I'm remembering correctly, that some of these other subatomic particles like the leptons and muons and neutrinos, like they call them flavors, like there's 6 flavors, as to try to describe the variety of them. But the kids were saying that there's supposed to be 7 of them. And if you think about that, the 7 micro universes, there's another one. And I can feel Sammy saying there's even nuances of that within those kind of 7. Yeah, and one of the kids is saying, no, never been done is changing density while we're in a physical body. So yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So
we're brave.
Yeah, it's never been done like this. Yeah, I mean, there's been ascension,
Crazy.
where like a whole group, kind of is able to transition together, but where we're kind of trapped in this 3D system, and to be able to release that density. Yeah, it's never been done before. So people may start, to feel like they don't want as much meat, or changing their diet, because the land animal meat diet is heavier. It's for a heavier human, and not that it means that you can't eat any of it if you don't, or that you should cut it out, but just kind of allowing that organically to happen. I think all of you are kind of aware of that. But yeah, let's keep going. So the new Qantas Sound, I think I shared that in Patreon. These are like musical notes, that's emanating, and also emanating from the center of the earth, because the earth has a quantum aspect to it as well. And the geomagnetic currents then are going to change. They are changing, and it's going to affect the surface inhabitants, which is us, and our consciousness, our awareness of the earth, even for those people who are kind of not aware, and more life, life on the planet. So this is what I call Hatshepsut, put symbol, Hatshepsut. Yeah, Hatshepsut. She was a pharaoh of Egypt. I think the first female pharaoh. I don't know if she was the only one, but she represents like a feminine female in a female body, but having this masculine quality. So it's like a divine masculine expressing through a feminine body. I mean, if you look up her history, they really trash her, but you don't know how much of it is true. But she represents a divine masculine. Again, that's kind of expressing through a feminine body. And so, whether you're a man in this physical body, in the physical form in this life, or a woman, that masculine is an important expression as well. So somehow we're going to be using this symbol. And so this will connect to like the lower pelvis, see that U shape kind of to it. And it will help us to readjust the dantian, the lower dantian, and our connection to the magnetic mother. So I'll have to see how the energy work unfolds. This is liquid ether. It's we're going to be using this to clear that original channel that opened from that Star Icosahedron, and something about liquefying the old connection, because at some point all of our souls came from out there, beyond time and space. And the way the things were designed here, there have been some souls that have been trapped here in a sense and not able to go back out, which we should, be able to go back and forth. So Sammy's showing me like it's almost like that connection from 0 point got rusty. So it's the only way I can say it. And so liquid ether is like, it's like fire in the realms of dark matter is the way I feel it. But it's like, yeah, it's hard to even, I don't know, concept for it. So, but yeah, you can feel the energy of it. The other thing that we're going to be doing is connect with the dark matter soul body. And if you all remember this Triune Arc, right, that connects us to this 6th harmonic universe, 16, 17, and 18D. 15D is up here, 13D down here. We're going to do a cycle, goes through the high heart, connects to 13D, and then goes back up. And we do that 3 times, and then we do the next one. Looking at the time here. And then we do the next one. This goes through the still point, and then the same thing. We do that 3 times. And this will also, since 16th, 17th, and 18D is connected here, we'll also be engaging those dimensions. And then the third one, this one goes through the sacral and goes back up 3 times. And then putting it all together, goes through the high heart, down through that still point, around to the sacral, down, back up again through the still point, the back of the high heart, and then back up. And we do that 3 times again. And you get kind of this loop. I've done it a few times, but I know it's always different when I do it with the group and others. We really get it kind of activated. So anyway, that'll be the meditation today and how it unfolds. Oh, the Mayans, poof, meaning like they ascended. Yeah, that seems to be, they got to a certain stage of their ascension, and they were able to all become connect to their light body. And then, yeah, like you're saying, poof. Sorry, I got distracted because I'm kind of seeing something in this as well. But yeah, I'm not sure what others say when that happened, but like I'm getting that this was even the Mayans that did this. It was before 26,000 years ago, or right, before the Luciferian rebellion that then sort of started. This game, well, it started before that, but the real game, the Luciferian game, kind of began about 26,000 plus years ago. And so I'm getting that the Mayans were able to do this before that rebellion. So if everyone just sit comfortably and take some deep inhales and exhales. Thank you again for joining us, and may each be blessed. You are blessed, and it's 2020. The time is 2020 here. Thank you.